Good day to you. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. November is National Family Caregivers Month. Stick around. Let's talk a little bit.
I stay wise. I live my life. I stay strong. I stay wise. I live my life. I stay strong. I stay wise. I live my life. While we wait.
Hello again. Happy National Family Caregivers Month. Caregivers come in so many shape forms. I was looking up some things. There are informal caregivers, there are formal caregivers, and it's just vast. And I just want to say thank you. That's why I came on today, just to show gratitude to all caregivers. I'm Patrice Bryant. I am the host of While We Wait, and I'm so glad that you're here today. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. And hello to my podcast listeners. Happy National Family Caregivers Month. I just wanted to chat as well as say thank you because a lot of times caregivers are unsung heroes. And for the formal caregivers, if I have to go to my doctor's appointment or take my mother to a doctor's appointment, I always make certain that before I leave or when I come in contact, even with the aides that are walking back and forth, I always say, thank you so much for doing what you do, because it's not always an easy job, whether you're formal or informal. For those that have continued to work during the pandemic, those that had to do face to face, whether it was mental health, physical health, whatever role you played, I just want you to know that we thank you for what you do. I am an informal caregiver, so I also want to say that you rock for all of the caregivers who take care of their spouses, their parents, their children, whatever role you play. If you don't hear thank you a lot, which a lot of times we don't, and then the other side is a lot of times people just think that, well, it's your mother or it's your, like, you just have to do it. So if you're doing it, I'm saying thank you, and your reward, there is a reward somewhere. I was just looking up some statistics, and thank you for being on. And please feel free to comment in the chat section. I love to have full engagement and to bring you into the conversation. So I was looking up some things, and it said approximately 39.8 million caregivers provide care to adults age 18 and over with a disability or illness, or 16.6% of Americans. Also, American caregivers are a diverse population, with many of them working, juggling caregiving and being employed. More than half of employed caregivers work full time. So it's really like having, I'm speaking from experience, it's like having three full time jobs. That's the way it feels sometimes. Who are they? They're formal, they're informal, they're unpaid individuals, and those that are paid. As I stated, their spouses, partners, family members, friends, or even neighbors involved in assisting others with activities of daily living and or medical tasks. And for those who take care of someone in their home, your spouse, your parent, your child, in whatever form, you wear a lot of hats. You are, the cook, you have to give the meds, you go shopping, and there's just so many things that I can't even think of because you just do it, because it's got to be done. So I just want to say thank you to all of the unsung heroes. Today is going to be brief, and let me just send a shout out to my co-host Michelle Perry. She went off grid and went into one of those cabins, and just to get to recharge and to reset. So I asked her not to come on today so she could complete her full recharging. She's still grieving the death of her mom, her grandmother, and she had a dog that died as well. So those are things that take some time. Those types of losses. So today's going to be brief. I wanted to come up and really just share for those that are actually caregivers. I want to say some thank yous. So some of my thank yous are to the supports, the caregivers of the caregivers. And I'm so very grateful that I have some people in my life that allow me, if I need to vent, if I need to rant. There are two people, I don't want to call their names, and one is Leela Patterson, and one is my previous supervisor. And both of them had to take care of one of their parents, and they would just say realistic things to me, because sometimes you have emotions that you can't talk to everybody about, because I have actually got some clap back, like, well, that's your mother. Okay. But I'm very grateful for those two ladies who always said to me, it's hard. It's hard, but it's okay. There's going to be a lot of emotions, but it's okay. And then even one of them said that, I miss my mother, but I don't miss a lot of the stuff that came with it, because everybody's situation is different. Yeah, you don't know unless you know. So it definitely can be challenging, a lot of decisions to make, a lot of preparation. But I want to encourage informal caregivers, those that are in the home with whomever they have to take care of. I want to encourage you. First of all, I want to say it's okay. You do have these emotions. Sometimes you have emotions of guilt because, it's not the easiest thing to do. It is okay. I hope you have a great support system. And it's not like even like you want to just vent all the time, but sometimes you just, just to woosah, just to take a breath. So keep your support, and thank you to our support systems. The sister that God gave me, I am very grateful, because it just sometimes you just need to say, you know what, I'm not feeling this today, and that's just the real of it. It's so easy for us to just tuck things or sweep things under the rug when it comes to how we feel, and how we deal with it. I want to encourage you, if you're a caregiver, whether it's formal or informal, take time, find some time for you. I find that I call them sweet stolen moments. Once I've given my last round of meds, that's my time, and I just self care, whatever that is, whether I want to read, but that's my time. I make a haven for myself, and just that's my time. And I want to say that don't let yourself go. And this is from watching some people. It requires a lot of your time to be a caregiver, but you have to have some non-negotiables. And I've got a couple of non-negotiables, so it doesn't matter what's going on. One of one of them is I will continue to do ministry, because that is has been my greatest support, my faith, and my community. So whatever it is that you do, don't let yourself go. If getting your nails done, getting your hair done, keep yourself looking. Don't just let yourself. Don't die. Don't you die. Um, and it's a lot. I can't even. Yeah, it's a lot, but you have to find a way. And I have to say, another one of my tools is to exercise, or to go out and take a walk. That walk is more than just physically for me. That walk, it clears my head. I get to breathe being out in the fresh air, and I will continue to do it. Normally, I can keep going out until it's like about 30, 29 degrees without that real harsh chill. So, yeah, you got to find what works for you, because it's something for, different for everyone. Remember, you keep living. You have to, even through the tiredness, and thank God for the strength to be able to do this. And this is what I also think is, if the assignment has been given to me, then there is an innate strength, a supernatural strength that has been given to me for the assignment. So that doesn't mean you don't get tired. But don't get me wrong. However, you got to do whatever it takes. I steal moments. Sometimes I drive. The days I go into the office, I may come back and just park in front of the house and just sit in the car for a moment, just to woosah. Switch hats, go in the house, do what I need to do, and and I'm so determined to keep as much of my life as I can. So that's why I'm pushing myself, even with my music group, because that's another way that makes me happy. I'm still helping others, and it's giving me joy. So you've got to find what works for you. But back to the emotions, I just want to say it's okay. You can go through a whole lot of emotions. Everyone's situation is different. And there's some really I can tell you some really interesting stories. But again, thank God for my support. You may not do it how someone else wants you to do it, and then who you're caring for, again, everything is different. Somebody might be a little easier than others. If you're dealing with adults, they can be set in their ways, so that's a whole nother thing. But I have to say, looking forward, of course, we don't know what tomorrow holds, but there's some things that we can do, our responsibility, and and that is taking care of yourself, because people are living longer now. So your health is so important. Mending and building relationships with people around you. Like, we never know whose hands we're going to fall into. But I have these conversations with my children. I go to my doctor's appointments. I work to stay healthy, eat right for the most part. And I always say to them, actually, it's wonderful to keep that conversation open. As I always tell my son, I'm like, okay, if I find myself in a place that I need some assistance, put me on the other. I could be on the other wing of your house and just send my grandbabies down to see me. I need a cook and a driver, and I won't get on your nerves. So it is a wonderful conversation to have. I plan on taking care of myself as long as I can. And again, if I need some assistance, then one of the things is having the long-term assistance insurance. That's going to bless your whole life, especially if you need aids, or additional help if you need it. And it can be it's a lot. It's a lot. I found myself having to reach out to Agency on Aging, which is a wonderful resource for those that need assistance. Depending on financial guidelines, you may be qualified for more things or less, depending on whoever you're taking care of, their how they have lived and what they've obtained. So I have definitely called a lot of people, talked to a lot of people, and am just still gathering information. I have found some information, still working on other things, but it's definitely a great conversation to have with your friends, what your desires are. You don't want to be in a situation that you are forced to do something. So it is just something that you should definitely be looking forward, in any situation. What would I do, or who do I have? It's a good conversation. It's stuff that we don't normally talk about, but it's stuff that we need to talk about. Your backup plan. I had my girl Tina on, and that was some wonderful information. So I just want to jump back to our unsung heroes and just thank yous again. Today is definitely going to be shorter, but I wanted to say thank you since it's National Family Caregivers Month, to the doctors, the nurses, and my prayers are with them because they see so much, including death, sickness, and death has been great over these past couple of years, and I pray their strength. It's important how you resolve as the doctors and nurses, but as well as you that are in the home, you have to have a way to just bring it down. You have to find that way. So I hope that you'll find your way. Find a stolen moment, whether that is to have a piece of chocolate or some ice cream. I don't know what it is for you, but think about ways. And another tool is preparation, because if you're not preparing, that means you're running your day just back to back into other things, and that can be very frustrating. So if you haven't prepared meals, or you need to go grocery shopping, or you can make it harder for yourself, or you can prepare and it will flow a little easier. So with a little preparation, it will certainly assist you with just making your load a little bit lighter. And that's about it. I do have a tribute. I have another little tribute for the caregivers, and I'll be right back. Hold on. Sit tight.
As I sit here, my thoughts so deep, a tear begins to roll down my cheek. I am a caregiver each and every day, and as they pass, memories fade away. I am a husband, a wife, a daughter, a son. I am an army of more than one. The years have flown by, each and every night. They just continue further out of sight. Dreams we share fade rapidly away. You try and try, but they will not stay. A caregiver is what I am, a role so hard to understand. Am I your husband, a friend, a name? Each new day will not be the same.
All right, so that's just a great big thank you. It also was just thinking as that was playing to those that have to deal with dementia and Alzheimer's. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, and to the point that she would go out the door. So I understand the whole, like we had to laugh so we didn't cry. Thank God someone, I jumped in the car, went around the corner and found her, and she was at the bus stop. And when I pulled up, I said, "Mama, where are you going?" And she said, "I'm going to work." And she had like so many clothes on. I mean, I had to laugh. It was funny, but you know, when you love a person so dearly, it's like, oh my God, they're not the same person. And so I know it's challenging. It's very challenging, but I will continue to pray for the caregivers in whatever role, to the drivers, to the appointment makers, to the cooks, to the personal care, to the aides, to the doctors, the nurses, to the first responders, to all of you unsung heroes. I want you to know that you so rock. And I say for the community of caregivers, thank you so very much. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, be strong, be wise, keep enhancing your life because life is worth living while we wait.
Stay wise. I am